Last time on the Playpiece of Despair, we investigated Kiyotaki and Hifumi's murder, was told we had to find out who the one true blackened is, and found Yasuhiro and Kyoko, the former of the two being accused of being the blackened and being rightfully upset by this. This time, on the Playpiece of Despair. I still don't understand why you want to find out so soon. I mean, if anything, I imagine it would be you find out about the doing of the do and investigation, and then the trial would be like a week later, not back to back. Hey, look. You're the one who thought, oh yeah, let me put a gift for the guy from Smosh getting hit by a fire truck on him whenever August comes over. Not me. And like I said, I'll tell you why I want to know so badly whenever it's over. Okay, this is so all out of character for you, and you have a snack food again. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be a few hours long. Well, doing the trial took 3 hours. Good. Good. Well, time and time again. This.
Get to that red door, boy.
I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to think of other stuff to say, but as always, which never holds true, never ever, what happens beyond the red door stays beyond the red door, and if it doesn't, so God help me.
Nuh-uh. What if you just run away from the red door? You just go to the shop instead? Buy out your feelings.
I want to partake in
God.
capitalism.
It looks like a fucking, what is it called? A therapy circle thing. One of those things where you sat down and your family is there and they're like, we need to talk to you.
Intervention?
Yes.
Everyone had heard MONOKUMA's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there.
Huh?
Hey, wait a fucking minute! Hold on! Hold on.
No,
I knew V2 had two things because the fucking icon and like the same thing. But what?
Hey man, what happens behind the red door stays behind the red door.
No. This is an exception. This is an exception.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, well, let's be honest here. One of them literally fucking blew up. If anything, that kind of implies there's more than one.
Oh yeah, there is.
He's multiplied. No, not multiplication. It just looks that way because I'm an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like a okay, Ezra Miller, can you tell which one of us is the real Monokuma? No. Can we get on the elevator already? You're not playing. I want to hear to play with you. Okay, fine. Then if everyone's here, get ready to go. Please board the train, the pain train, or elevator. I'll see you guys down there. Let's go down. Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't. You know, Yasuhiro, from one accused to another. Deny everything. Innocent until proven guilty.
I thought it was guilty until proven innocent.
Fuck the law. I told you I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or no? Well, no, but how unfortunate, it seems we have our culprit. That's what they want us to think. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations when we get to the courtroom. She's right, let's get down to the deal first and the reveal so we can begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever could have me. Well, one of them, misogyny.
Both of them deserved it. I don't give a fuck. They both can die in hell.
Oh my fucking god, you literally are so... You are the white bread of protagonists. What do you mean somebody killed somebody? Yes!
Whoa! That's never happened in this game.
That's never happened, except for like the 2 other times it has happened. I took one breath and exhaled slowly and began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, no going back down. Well, if you die, that is. The door was closed on their own and the seal box began to move.
Damn, it's so empty. Oh my god.
Yeah, no shit, there's like 7 dead people!
Okay, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay. The clunking out the elevator cup this company as you fell forward and further down. There's no going back until we all settled until we started all this. We couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door stood open, opening up a cruel fade. I like the color theory.
I want to smush Monokuma.
That's all I can really say. That is color theory.
I'm not ready for this.
When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize how few of you are all left, and your school life is slowly reaching its climax, only because of you. Why are you making us do such cool things to each other? What? What? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute. Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course. I'm gonna start it. I've never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed trial after this commercial break. That reminds me, guys, stay tuned for the action-packed trial after this commercial break. I've never hold you out like that. Okay, let's gonna get to your assigned seats. And so the carpet opens once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly dude. A deadly diss, a deadly doubt. One of them was an incel, the other one was a worse incel. I'm not saying who is worse, to be completely honest. That's for you to decide. A dirty class chat, Jesus. Oh, we have 7. It seems like we did not get that many. God, it feels so obvious, but here's the thing, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's like
there's a lot to it.
I feel like I can piece it together. I just don't know if I'm right, or if I'm right, or if I can even do it. Oh well, all will be revealed in this action-packed trial after this commercial break. Okay, here's the thing. I don't exactly remember how the controls work. Uh-oh. I mean, I remember how the bullet time battle works. It's like right click and then just left click. And I'm like on the easiest difficulty, so how much of it, a lot of it doesn't matter, was the point I'm trying to make you.
Yeah, you should be alright no matter what. You'll figure it out as you go.
Yeah. May the games begin. Wait, is he now heal? Get your ass in heal! 17 truth bullets, 2 bodies. You do the math. I don't think doing the math applies here. Well, either way it is, so 17 truth bullets and 2 bodies. However, unlike last time, I could really care less for both Hifumi and Kiyotaka. That seems kinda cruel. In my defense, I don't need a recap for how they acted. Well, your loss. Guess to give you a segue, which one are we starting off with? So let's paint the picture. I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess. Everyone thinks it's Yasuhiro, but he claims he was knocked out cold, and the only 2 pieces of evidence everyone has is the fact that he was in the suit, and the blueprints and parts for the suit were in his room. And he also never found the other costume or note during the investigation. Right, double right, and right. All pretty damning evidence that does not help his cause, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to think about it in your shoes. So, something obvious about the first trial, history rhyming, like there has to be something pretty obvious that it clears his case. Something like the doorknob whenever that whole scenario was happening. Well, it also has something to do with hands, and that is the handwriting on the blueprints. Don't tell me. Didn't plan on it. When Alter Ego disappeared, he wrote a note for everybody to meet up, and the handwriting was really good. Like, really good. Correct. And the handwriting on the blueprints was messy, like mine, but worse, because this basically immediately confirms that it couldn't have been Yasuhiro. However, Celeste brings up that someone tried to disguise her handwriting, not the worst idea, but Sakura jumps in saying that she thinks that the differences are bigger than that. Yasuhiro isn't smart enough to think of that, and Baroque actually agrees that he thinks Yasuhiro is innocent, and Hiro could be the only one in the suit since it fits him like a glove. Basically meaning that the main culprit had nothing to do with being in the suit, but with Yasuhiro's name cleared as mine was whenever Sayaka got, you can say killed. Baroque wants to clarify how Taka's body was moved, and take the wildest guess on who it falls on. You, me, damn. But I'm gonna let you and your brain try to figure out who moved the body, because it's more fun to watch someone piece it together than to explain it. Well, go nuts. Well, let's see. His body disappeared from the equipment room, ended up in the repository, but the second time he was on the top, the same one that was in the equipment room, and I guess obviously that the killer used it to move Kiyotaka's body to hide any bloodstains. Yep, but what about the dolly? Christ, like the top, the dolly was in the equipment room, and then when his body was gone, so was the dolly, and when Kiyotaka's body was rediscovered in the repository, the dolly was there too, so it's the same thing with the top? Basically, but Celeste objects, asking if Makoto is absolutely positive that the dolly was in the equipment room when Taka's body was found, since it was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. She comes to the conclusion that it would be very strange to discover in the equipment section. Very suspicious if I do say so myself. I mean, yeah, but hold that thought. Why? Because it was at this very moment I took a stand that I wouldn't be waking up anymore.
I can't believe, why would you do— Wake up!
Wake up!
I'm not waking up. I'm taking a stand. Literally.
Good morning!
I'm not waking up. Oh shit. I'm going to sleep.
I hope if I ever get the chance to kill someone and be scot-free, it would be you, Daniel, for all the crimes you have committed. You are very bad. You must be taken down.
What
By
crimes?
justice.
Oh my god, you're about to
By
commit a
justice.
crime.
What crimes?
By justice.
But yeah, she's basically saying it's possible that it was always in the repository, which leads to everyone's favorite average boy to convince everyone's favorite gambling golf whatever that it was moved into the equipment room. And that happened how? A bullet time battle, baby! We're still in the false truth bullet. Don't care when there's a new ingredient to this recipe! I wish I said no. I can now reload. Underneath the tempo marker, I can see my aim account. Before, there's been 0 limits, but now I do have a limit, and once it runs out, I have to reload by pressing tab and timer the tempo. However, I will automatically reload at the start of the fever time and my ammo won't go down. Well, that's good. I guess. However, if I'm ungentle, it doesn't matter. Did I even bother asking her this one went? It was fine, average, nothing to write home about, anticlimactic. The entire argument falls apart when taking into account that one of the dolly's wheels had a blood stain on it, and the blood pool had a tire mark on it, matching the dolly's wheels. So maybe the killer rolled the dolly through the blood on accident while they were leaving, and it dried when they were going to the repository. Yeah, basically. I'm afraid I'm picking up on how this godforsaken game works. You get used to it, but on to the main topic. Finding out the whole thing with Robo Justice and finding out how the body was moved will be our biggest help. This feels really obvious. Oh, it is. So, Kiyotaka was killed in the equipment room and his body was moved to the repository via the dolly and the top to prevent any blood from being seen. Yeah, but the dolly doesn't have a handle, meaning the only way to move it is by bending over or kicking it if you want to do that. I don't know, I won't judge a mortal! You know, I know we just finished the whole investigation stuff, but Ari literally tried it on and said, and I quote, "You totally can't bend at the base. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight." And why she mentioned bending over to push the dolly to spine makes no sense to me. I'm telling you, everyone in this game is as dumb as a bag of rocks, because even though Ari was right, she's swearing that she wore the suit and had a hard time moving in it and couldn't see jack. The fact the suit wasn't made for her side. Literally, that suit had so many flaws, being the blackened would be the last thing I think anyone would want to do. Yeah, but who's to say your whole kicking an idea is what happened? August? Think about it for 1 second. Oh, if you can't see your feet, it'd be hard to kick it. And besides, with how the suit was designed, you'd have to bend down a good few times just to move the body onto the top, wrap it up, and put it on the dolly. But you could take it off, and before you say anything, I know about the clasp on the back being impossible to reach by yourself. Correct. That suit is impossibly difficult to get on and off without any help. Basically again confirming Yasuhiro could not have killed. The handwriting, the suit, and its many flaws. So Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly or body even if he tried, meaning that whoever did move the body, it wasn't Hiro. Before you continue that thought, because someone brings up the photo she took, the one of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice, basically saying that if whoever is in the suit isn't the culprit, there should be an explanation for the picture. She even brought up that Hifumi said Robo Justice hit him on the head, saying that the proper conclusion is beyond question that Hiro is the one inside the suit. However, Kyoko steps in saying it's far too early for us to come to that conclusion. And how long were you at this point? 40 minutes, nearly 40. And it took you 3 hours. A little over, but yeah. You frighten me. Hey, look, I'm the one who calls himself a dumbass, but anyways. Kyoko says there's no hurry to decide, and that we shouldn't rush to a verdict before exploring every single possibility. She also brings up analyzing things from every single angle instead of focusing on one single viewpoint. So, back to the beginning. Kinda. Evan really doesn't want to do it, but they might as well because 1, their lives are on the line, and 2, where was Kyoko when everything went down will be revealed. That makes sense. So, in the morning, Makoto, Aoi, Kyoko, and Sakura were in the dining hall. The 4 waited there for a while, but no one showed up, so they decided to look for everyone else alive. This was around 8 AM, and when everyone split up, Kyoko went missing. After that, Aoi found Celeste in the rec room and went to go get Makoto and Sakura. Celeste was unconscious for about an hour after she was attacked by the assailant. And why did she remember how long she was out for? Because she remembered that she was attacked a little after 7. After that, everyone saw Celeste's picture and discovered that the assailant was wearing the Robo Justice costume, and that the very same assailant for battle abducted Hifumi. Soon after, Baroque and Toku joined them as they went to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so he ended up in the nurse's office as everyone resumed looking for the suspect. But very shortly after everyone had left, Celeste saw a shadow moving atop of the stairs. Because of that, everyone split up and searched the second floor. But after that, Celeste saw someone on the 3rd floor and she yelled out to everyone that she saw the assailant, but he ran off as soon as she screamed. She was blocking the stairs, thankfully, but he had headed further into the hallway and disappeared. But after that, Hifumi screamed and he was dead. At that point, everyone split up into 2. Celeste, Hina, and Makoto went to the nurse's office while Sakura, Baroque, and Toku chased the suspect, and that's when the body discovery announcement was made. Makoto left Celeste and Hina as he went to the 3rd floor to let everyone else know what happened. Meanwhile, the others had discovered Kiyotaka's body in the equipment room. They assumed both bodies were found at the exact same time because they heard the same announcement not long after they discovered Kiyotaka's body. And that's when Makoto told them about Hifumi, right? Right. After that, Makoto, Sakura, and Baroque went to the nurse's office, but Toku didn't because she was unconscious from the blood. But after they left the physics lab, Celeste went to them and said something very surprising happened. Hifumi's body disappeared. They rushed back to the nurse's office to see if she was right. But Toku was out cold. They went back for her to make sure she wouldn't get killed. Correct. But come to everyone's surprise, Kiyotaka's body was now missing too, meaning now everyone was searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. However, Celeste found both bodies and informed everyone, who was then headed to the repository. And then, to everyone's surprise, both Hifumi and Kiyotaka's bodies were in the repository. So very elaborate, complicated, and confusing. Yep, Kyoko says that in her opinion these are not a simple series of connected events, and that we need to think about both getting gods as a separate situation, and from there we can compare the contradictions. So, who are we starting with? Kiyotaka. I guess that makes sense. So Kyoko wonders if Kiyotaka died before or after Hifumi. Wild guess, it's before. Shh, we're not at that point yet. In terms of that, Aoi says everyone knows Kiyotaka came last because of the numbering on the hammers. But what about his watch? Well, that does take a role in this, but it took me a scary amount of time to advance this. If anything, this is the main culprit in it being 3 hours. You are dumb. Hey, look, in my defense, I forgot how to bullet time battle book.
We believe in you.
With the power of friendship.
How did that make you worse?
But I recovered from it and remembered. Okay, how long did it take for you to advance the trial? Well, I had to get out. Oh my god, just write it down. Hey, look, 22 minutes isn't that long of a time to relearn how to do the flashback thing. Just talk. Okay, after remembering to do the flashback thing on Aoi, saying we knew the death portal, and collecting the whole numbering of the Justice Hammers thing, Makoto says that there's no reason to assume the hammers were used in order by their respective number, because if anything, the killer tried to hide their actions by numbering them. Baroque responds saying that the culprit wanted everyone to think the hammers were used in order, but what's-his-name was killed before what's-his-face. Yeah, and they have names. Literally just talk before I snag that tablet out of your hands. Okay, fine. Baroque wants evidence that Kiyotaka was killed before Hifumi, and this is where the watch comes in. So, after a very short hammering scan on his phone wristwatch, Makoto brings up that Kiyotaka's watch pointed at just past 6 AM, well before Hifumi died. Kyoko says that it must have gone when he was attacked because before that, at 10 PM, his watch worked just fine, so it would have to be at 6 AM, his time of death. And Celeste was attacked at 7, an hour after Taka died before anything took place. Yeah, meaning that everyone made the wrong assumption because of the ordering of the Justice Hammers. 4, 1, 3, 2. In short, don't believe it how you see it. Or something. To be fair, it does seem like a pretty obvious assumption to make. No one other than the Blackened could know the order, and everyone saw the hammers in the exact same order as numbered. However, now everyone's alibis are pointless because when he was God, everyone didn't meet up in the dining hall or laundry room. Full Kiyotaka. And speaking of Kiyotaka, I had a big feeling he was attacked first. Oh really? What made you realize that? Because no one can respawn or get another life. I know Hifumi was attacked 3 times. 3rd time's the charm. But something about all of this feels fishy to me. Clearly, someone put a lot more thought into this than Baroque messing around with the crime scene. In the last two trials, there was a big focus on whoever would die. And who was focused heavily during this one? Dead and Deadle? Yeah, for one, I highly doubt someone with the ultimate moral compass would kill someone, and I feel we could think of something like this. 2. Even though they did have tensions, thinking about Celeste had also rubbed me the wrong way. So you're basically saying you think it's Celeste. I mean, yeah, I'm not even seeing anything that happened you were just showing and telling me, but even I'm picking up on this. I know the $10 million would be gamble to get away with it. What do you mean, Just nothing special. Okay. Everyone alibis hold up for when Hifumi was attacked and then got. When Hifumi screamed, everyone was together except for Yasuhiro and Kyoko. Then, everyone ran to the nurse's office seeing his body. Everyone was together, making it impossible for him to have been killed. Even still, when you remember his body disappeared, Ali and Celeste were both in the bathroom, but everyone else was in the equipment room. And when Kiyotaka's body disappeared, everyone was in the nurse's office. And Toko/Genocide Jill was asleep in the equipment room. And that she said she didn't do it herself. It's impossible anyone killed Hifumi and Kiyotaka besides Yasuhiro and Kyoko. But both are unlikely when you consider Kyoko has no reason to do that, and Yasuhiro was having a full-on breakdown at the thought of it being him. Either way, now in a corner, Makoto asks Kyoko what's next, and Adachi says that we can't get fixated on who did it, or it'll be a full circle. A real antmill, if you will. In terms of advancing, she proposes instead of focusing on the who, we focus on the how. And what are you going to be focusing on this time? How Hifumi's body got moved. They searched everywhere, but there was no explanation for his body ending up in the repository. And according to Celeste, his body disappeared in a lone minute hole and Ari didn't see it. But, knowing how much he weighed, taking him up to the 3rd floor on the force in such a short time, it seems so impossible. But, Kyoko says there's a way to make the impossible possible. So yeah, he's not dead. Maybe he was knocked unconscious. It's a concussion, playing dead, who knows? Well, I do know one thing, and that's the truth. Or simping. Hey, I've been keeping my down bad to a minimum. I'm gonna go ahead and just say what you love to say. Prove it. No. So, Sakura reasonably baffled at the idea of Hifumi being alive still, wants confirmation. Celeste says no, saying it's impossible. Kyoko, however, wants to know how Celeste knows that's for sure, and Adachi brings up the body discovery announcement, coming to the conclusion that it was because Hifumi's body was found. However, again, Kyoko is skeptical that it was for Hifumi's body, because keep in mind, both his and Kiyotaka's body were found very close to each other. And the process for this is... make Kyoko saying the announcement was for someone else with a flashback, praise a friend for helping with the downfall. I don't know what I would do without Basil. Basil's carrying the downfall. And call it Celeste thinking just Hifumi's body was found. After that, Makoto asks Celeste if she's sure it was for Hifumi, but she says it was since the announcement played after they had discovered his body. But what's-his-face's body was found at the same time. Yeah, which Baroque confirmed since, you know, he saw it. There's a very high and confirmed chance that they confused who the announcement was for. Baroque chimes in saying that if 2 bodies were found, there should have been 2 announcements. Celeste, for some reason, hell-bent on making her look suspiciously guilty, suspiciously desperate, and suspiciously high-rolling, a long shot. Okay, hold on. I know from countless hours I'm never gonna get back from so many rabbit holes. Those last year casino or gambling homes. Did you look up gambling terms to put in your notes? Baroque has MONOKUMA if he has any fun. Racky comments that here! God damn it. And he just so happens to say that it's a sensitive situation, and he can't go into too much detail. But what he can say is that it only broadcasts when 3 or more people find a body for the first time. And there's only 8 people as of this moment, so you tell me how that works out. No. Well, I tried. Yasuhiro says that doesn't answer Jack, but Baroque says it was plenty because if the same bodies we found, the announcement will play again. And if that was true, why was the announcement read again much later when both bodies were rediscovered? And even though at the time it didn't seem odd, it contradicts what MONOKUMA said because if they were rediscovering bodies, no announcement should have played. So that means when the bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time, meaning that Hifumi wasn't dead yet, and wouldn't be until he was in the repository, meaning he died second and Taka died first. Yep, and there's one more thing that leads Makoto to thinking he was still alive in the nurse's office, and even though Genocide Joe thinks it's because he was really good at playing dead, that isn't the case. Celeste, however, thinks there's nothing that can prove his glasses. But Kyoko, wait, what? You pointed out the cloth when you were explaining it. His glasses were clean because he wasn't dead. Can I still explain though? Sure. Okay. But Kyoko says that we should take another look at the events for it to be clear if Hifumi was alive or not. Celeste says the whole thing is pointless, digging her grave faster than... Well, to be honest, Celeste works perfectly for this sense. Okay, we both know it's Celeste at this point. Yep. Yeah, and we are at the point where the walls are starting to crack beyond our tones, but let's just act like you don't know for a bit, okay? Sure. So Hifumi's body was first found in the nurse's office while Celeste and Ayo were in the bathroom. His body disappeared, and the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository. But, comparing his body before and after being moved, there isn't much different about it besides the position, and as you said, his glasses. Except to show Celeste because glasses do not exist if you're goth. Apparently. Do you just love to speak what was on your mind? Yeah. Ugh. And even though there was a possibility he was still alive, Celeste doesn't want to believe it, but Makoto brings up that there was one difference, his glasses, saying that fact alone only proves he was playing dead from the beginning. In the nurse's office they were covered with blood, but in the repository they were spotless. And he cleaned it off with a cleaning cloth that was in the trash can in the nurse's office. And there was a mascot on the cleaning cloth, the same one also on the camera, and before Celeste claimed ownership of it, it belonged to Hifumi. And since at this point there's only two people who wear glasses, Byakuya and Toko, it's literally as easy as asking them to confirm if it's theirs, just in case. And they said, Rich Pants wouldn't be caught dead with it, and the right now psychopath only needs a few tissues, confirming 100% it was Hifumi's. And the blood on his glasses wiped away with the same cleaning cloth, meaning that assuming he was still alive in the nurse's office, he was pretending to be dead. Then, when he was alone, he cleaned his glasses to see and then left. But it was the nurse's office, and there were a lot of blood packets and stuff. I put two and two together, yeah, he made it look like he was attacked. I'm gonna assume that makes Taka's body disappearing easy to explain. It was probably Hifumi. Because everyone else was in the nurse's office, he easily went and took Taka's body from the encryptment room to the repository, explaining how the door got locked, meaning he was also an assailant instead of just a victim, and did a bit of killing. Yep, but there was some more evidence to back this up. The biggest fact showing his involvement isn't revealed. Yet. Is it the note? Ding-a-ding-ding. Hifumi had a note stuffed in his pants, and in case you can't recall, it says, I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM. And apparently, that's the note Yasuhiro got, but it's a little different, because in his note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. So it isn't the same note here, oh god. Nope, meaning the killer spoke with another person, and it was Kiyotaka. They used the note to draw him out, and then bam. However, Genocide Jill says that Hifumi had the letter, meaning that this may be wrong, since the killer might be trying to draw Hifumi and Kiyotaka. Well, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you proved the psychopath wrong. So Genocide Jill's reasoning is that because Hifumi had the note, it was for him, but taking into account what the note said, it said to meet at 6 AM. She however says that time doesn't matter, persistently saying it has nothing to do with Kiyotaka. Well, I can see how the process of proving her wrong goes. Well, the truth bullet is meant to be broken wristwatch, and Genocide Jill saying the note has nothing to do with Kiyotaka is what is supposed to be picked. Makoto says that it actually does have something to do with him. Genocide Jill wants answers, and the answer is that the note said they meet at 6 AM, the exact time Kiyotaka got. And we know that because of when he got gotted, the note also said to meet in the equipment room, where he got. If anything, that should prove that it was 100% meant for Kiyotaka. And did she protest any? A scissor being thrown? Anything? Nope. Damn. I can, however, confirm that the same person tricked Kiyotaka and Yasuhiro because the handwriting is similar. Yeah, that makes sense, but what was with Hifumi in the note? Hifumi probably sold off of Kiyotaka's body after he died, and the people, Byakuya, want proof. And there is proof. The scrap of paper Kiyotaka had. Makoto saw it during the investigation, and if he's right, the piece of paper came exactly from the note. Which it did, because the rip matches the one in the note exactly. Even I noticed this earlier. I just want to bring up Kiyotaka's scrap piece of paper. The tail matches up insanely well. So, he died holding the note, and Hifumi tried to free it from his grip, meaning he knew the note was important, proving he was an accomplice in the murder. But how did he die? The body discovery announcement was played, but if he was alive during the first time we saw his body, we will get to that. And good news, whoever did the kill is the mastermind. he was guarded, not a real ward. After Kiyotaka's body went missing, but before both showed up in the repository, Baroque says that no one has alibis for HIFUMI'S death since everyone split up, except Ari and Sakura, and apparently there's something that's been bothering Yasuhiro. And what might that be? What weapon was used to kill HIFUMI? And on Yasuhiro's own words, according to the MONOKUMA file, the way Kiyotaka and HIFUMI were killed was almost the same, within them having similar fractures and all. But just as hammers 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and the equipment room respectively. So, if HIFUMI was killed in the repository, the culprit would have to grab one of the hammers, kill HIFUMI, then put the hammer back where they found it. He then asked if that would be seriously risky, but for him, that's not a dumb thought process to have. So we're gonna figure out soon. Yeah, in terms of now, however, the MONOKUMA file makes it very clear that they were killed very similarly, down to everything like the weapon. But if the hammers were in the other room, how did the culprit get there? Never mind. Good. You realized. Celeste, however, did not. Our downfall continues. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it short by saying it's a spotless hammer because it was a spotless hammer, but these idiots don't know how to look at hammers on a wall! Like I just mean seriously, Sakura's right there, fucking Haru's right there, but these doors don't know how to look on a wall, like I mean! Jesus Christ, calm down, just explain this to me. Fine, these clowns don't know what was used to kill HIFUMI. Justice Hammer 3, which is wrong, or Justice Hammer 4, which is also wrong. Celeste says whichever it was, there's one thing left to figure out. How the killer was able to move with it so freely, which is stupid because they were literally right there! I'm gonna just, okay, so it looks like after that, Celeste says something about no one seeing the witness. Genocide Jill does that. And Hero says something about the Moderato being one of the Justice Hammers. And it's like, if you kill someone with something that was dirty before, how weak-minded are you to not try to find a thing to dirty it up again? And it looks like you had to get your friends, so, okay, well, logic, let's think this out. Look, I mean, seriously, no, I've never killed anyone, but if you're gonna do something, do it right, you a big moron! You planned it! You planned it, and you didn't even get the cover-up right! Can I think? Oh. Yeah, sure, if you're gonna think about it, kill someone right because Chihiro's outside waiting for you. Oh boy! Finally, now I can try to piece this part of the puzzle together. Oh yeah, that makes sense because it wasn't a Justice Hammer. It was just a hammer, which is completely different, but he was right about getting annoyed somewhat since it was one of the hammers in the repository, and all of them had grit and debris on them except one that had just been cleaned. And it is more than likely that it was cleaned to hide the fact that it was used to kill someone. If it had blood on it, it would make sense. And they also had all sorts of hammers. Big hammer, 1 hammer, 2 hammer, these notes are fucking stupid. He did, however, show an image, and there's 4 hammers missing, so maybe the Justice hammers were painted? Very likely, explaining the MONOKUMA file saying the runes were similar. So, HIFUMI moved Taka's body, and then someone used a hammer to kill him, but who? Well, I guess whoever did it is the real killer, and the one who planned this. But in his notes, he wrote something about Celeste saying it's strange to assume someone was working together, and that the way the graduation rule works, there's no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder, and she said that the idea anyone would work together is simply ludicrous. And then that takes us to the next aspect. You lied?! And yeah, so I could figure this out. I was expecting you to realize quickly that I lied. I thought he was hiding. Daniel, what is wrong with you? Hey, it's your job to figure that out. Okay, well, I figured out what was used to kill HIFUMI. It was the hammer on the wall. But now that you're back, you might as well take the wheel again. So, Celeste says some stupid junk about rules being laid out. The rule being that even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who did the do can graduate and survive. She then claims that if this rule holds true, it's impossible that 2 people work together on this. And this is how the rule was explained. Kyoko asks if it only really applies if there's 1 murder, because in this case, there's 2. Well, it seems like there's 2 murders, so you tell me. Well, first things first, we flash back what Kyoko said about 2 murders and then shoots us saying it's impossible. And then, dialogue. Mostly. So, 2 murders means it's plausible more than 1 person was involved in the doing of the do, the guarding of the guarding, because if only 1 person can be saved from murder, an accomplice has no risk to reward benefit. You know what that is, right? Do you think I'm dumb? I do! Okay. And why don't you explain it for the class? We literally aren't in a school, but I'll do it. Risk versus reward. Say, for example, you help someone get away with a murder if they promise to give you something you really want. That's risk versus reward. The reward ideally should balance over take the risk, because it's pointless if you help someone to do something really bad if you get nothing out of it. Thank you. I don't see why I had to do that. Like, I understand it's related to this, but why? In this case, it's unique because we all know it's possible two people acted as each other's accomplice for two separate murders, and Kyoko thinks that what the true killer told Hifumi, one person would help another do it and vice versa, and knowing the timeline of events, Hifumi was more than likely the first one to act. Whoever the true killer is made him get Kiyotaka so he couldn't back out later on. It would be a pretty interesting trial if he backed out. It makes me wonder what kind of execution he would have had. Well, there wasn't just one person getting people, it was two, creating two separate incidents, and the only reason it looked like one was because that's how the true killer designed it. One person, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating a seamless set of circumstances, they painted a picture that only one person did all of it. So if I'm reading the room right, the true killer picked their victim, Hifumi, and convinced him to go along with this plan. The sad thing is that I think I know how they convinced him. It isn't that sad. And in order to get out of the can of worms that is no accomplices rule, they just killed him. Meaning that if that's true that Hifumi was just a pawn in all of this from the get-go. Byakuya, the sociopath he is, says that he can't help but admire the plan. He does however think the accomplice is, in his words, odd. This entire plot point of the trial is the main characteristic. Kyoko more than likely noticed this fact from the get-go, explaining why she said to look at this as entirely separate incidents. Makoto does some simping. What? And you know, it does make sense as to how an accomplice can be involved now. But the main question is, who was the one Hifumi was using for their own gain? The one who did that also killed him? And we don't know. But considering everything up until now and the way all of this played out, there's only one person who fits the bill. Celeste. I know I keep on saying it's Celeste, but imagine how funny it would be if it was her. Are you meaning me? Unsurprisingly, she cannot just fess up, so she says this as a joke. If there was an ultimate comedian or jokester in this game, they would have confirmed if it was funny, I think. It was not. Byakuya is also not having any of it, and Celeste is just silent, until she wants confirmation that everyone at this point is basically saying that she specifically chose to work with Hifumi. She starts getting more defensive that, actually, let me just show you.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-fuck brain, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Dr. Moore.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Wow. I know, right? She literally just... It's so fucking over for her. I can just skip to the execution, but I love a dish served cold. But in this case, I kind of think because, well, you know. Fucking finally we're getting somewhere. Well, as fun as the near future is, we need to focus on the now. And right now, we need to find out the connection that only Hifumi and Celeste had. And in this case, it's encountering a suspicious individual in a suit. Remember, only Celeste and Hifumi saw ROBO just as firsthand, and if we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said too. Unsurprisingly, the one who is the ultimate gambler is a lie, because she cannot get to the top without lying. Or with ethics if you want to mention how she's a gambler. After Hifumi was in the nurse's office, everyone else began to search for the individual, and not long after that, Celeste said that she saw a shadow, something moving around atop the stairs, and everyone headed to the second floor specifically of what she claimed. She even did it again to draw everyone to the physics lab on the third floor with a scream that only a bat could be able to stomach. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, you'll see. Huh? Eventually, when everyone went to see what was wrong, she said she saw the strange costume man again. He ran off as soon as she screamed. Once she had done her job of getting everyone to the physics lab, it was time for Hifumi to get the wall. Really true, but that doesn't matter right now. That sounded like Hifumi. He is dead.
Uh-oh.
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the notices. He is dead. He is dead.
The only reason that happened was to divide everyone into two groups so both bodies would be discovered at the same time. Celeste was also the one who suggested that everyone splits up.
Fiendeo. Don't mind me split into two groups. I'll lead a hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto, Hina, and you come with me to the notices. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Otsuyaka, and Sakura. We'll handle just Sakura.
And if Celeste and Hifumi were walking together, all of these events suddenly connect together. And on top of that, there's also her ear-piercing cry she let out early on to signal Hifumi. Her own little sly way of letting him know that everyone was on the third floor and that the plan was going accordingly. Like, think about it. Why else would someone let out a scream like that? And when Hifumi was pretending to be dead in the nurse's office, Celeste was the first one to say he's been murdered, wanting to make sure that everyone wouldn't have any doubts on her minds that Hifumi was dead. And on top of that, when Celeste took Ari to the bathroom because she wasn't feeling well, that too was a part of the plan. Celeste wasn't worried about Ari, she just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out.
So everything by itself isn't much, but once you put it all together, it gets colorful.
Like what kind of color?
Take a wild guess.
Hot pink.
Yep.
Celeste, however, wants to play aloof in response to all of this, something that time has shown does not work out, especially this late into the trial. Denier she came, there's one fatal mistake made Mr. Sociopath himself didn't even catch, but all of that was basically her downfall.
What are you talking about?
What she said after Hifumi's body disappeared when everyone returned to the nurse's office.
I highly doubt that. Enjoying the sight of us standing around fighting, we're going to die.
Daniel.
We're going to die just like all those guys' side.
At first glance it may not seem so odd. Sakura, Toko, and Byakuya first discovered Kiyotaka's body in the equipment room, and Makoto showed up and told them Hifumi had been killed. So, Sakura and Byakuya left with Makoto. Once everyone was in the hall, the four of them headed to the nurse's office. The entire time, no one said jack about Kiyotaka being dead. Celeste's comment made zero sense in any way, shape, and or form.
Well, how did she take all of this?
Well, Byakuya tries to get her to repeat it, which she doesn't, but Makoto believes he's alluding to something. But the question is, alluding to what? All she said was, they really must be enjoying this, enjoying the sight of us standing around, fighting and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And Byakuya asked what's so strange about her comment, and to make it short, we flashback what Byakuya said about it being so strange, and then suit Celeste those guys comment.
I'm starting to think that the ones that involve flashbacks are the one you really struggle with.
Yeah, maybe a little, but with help I still kept going. Makoto agrees. There's no reason Celeste should have said just like those guys died, because when she said that, no one told her Kiyotaka was dead, and no one ran into her until after they were all out in the hall. So, there's no chance for her to see his body herself. Makoto then asked Celeste how she knows more than one guy was killed, because, in his own words, Kyoko also disappeared. She could have been dead too.
And how did she respond?
A giggle. An ominous, grayscale, monochromatic giggle. She claims we all have had such vivid imaginations. She then says we claim she's lying when she told us about this suspicious person. She then brings up the picture she took, wanting an explanation for it. Yasuhiro then asks if it's a setup. He then provides a possible theory that it isn't true because he's the only one who can fit in the suit.
He said something about Celeste putting on the suit, didn't he?
Yep.
Wow.
Also, it makes less sense because the camera doesn't have a timer on it. She then continues trying to paint a picture that the picture she took of Hifumi being dragged away because if everything from her mouth is a lie, how can the picture exist?
Because maybe the picture isn't of Hifumi being dragged away. Only Celeste took it, and I can imagine in the moment it'd be very hard to trust her.
Funnily enough, Kyoko says something very similar. Celeste wants confirmation as to what she means, the downfall continues. Kyoko says there may be other explanations other than the one Celeste is running away for the picture. Celeste, however, says there is no other explanation. This, however, gets Makoto thinking. If it's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, then the only other possibility is... Answer the question.
Why do I have to do it?
Just say it.
I guess a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Ding, 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 ding. Makoto says just that, and Kyoko says that it's only within the realm of possibility, and that the one being dragged off isn't Hifumi, but is the person in the robot suit, and that everyone was led to believe it's the other way around, and that the strange costume anime only exists to lead us astray photo. Cause, imagine if you saw someone wearing something like that in a situation like this. The only logical thing is suspiciousness, and as any reasonable person would do, Yasuhiro is rightfully mad.
And how does Celeste respond to all of this?
She says, and I quote, "Such a thing is utterly impossible. The Hifumi dragging him away is ridiculous. Kyoko doesn't know that though. Celeste, however, doesn't care. Celeste thinks that she can just worm her way out of this. That there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Well, she's been alive this entire time. I don't see why she stopped now. Clearly she has some fight left in her. Clearly she does. Robo dresses costume, stands up straight. What? Well, literally at the finish line, the shortest that Yasuhiro says he was dressed up and that Hifumi carried him to make him look like the bad guy. Celeste says ridiculous that the suspect is standing straight up. If the person inside was unconscious, there's no way they'd be standing. Just be happy I'm trying to make it quick. Thanks. If someone was in the suit unconscious, they could still stand up straight because Robo just the suit doesn't bend at the waist. Is it possible that's a mistake? Maybe, but maybe not, because Kyoko thinks the suit was designed from the beginning to be used how it was. So, Celeste and Hifumi took the suit and stuffed Hiro in it, explaining how they managed to fake it. The point was to make everyone believe whoever was in the suit was the culprit, and it worked for some time. Celeste does not take this role. Well, I'm gonna show you again.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
But my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Last names. Yeah, but how did you? Get on with the trial, it was obvious. Oh, okay. The right choice what he called everyone by. Kyoko confirms this even more when saying she knows she heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once. If Hifumi was going to say Yashihiro's name, he would have said Hagakure. Celeste says that it was probably incidental that by change he said Yashihiro's false name. Wow, that's convenient. I know, right? But there really isn't any other reason to think he would have said anything different than normal. He more than likely ran out of energy before he could say anything else. We now know Hifumi was trying to say the last name of his mortal, but no one has it as a last name. Well, the one person who just might have that, Celeste. We never found out what her real name is. She is very surprised at this. To think you'd take your false accusations so far. I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on, enough of your idiotic blabber. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a user to you? Well, she's about to be. Makoto asks for her real name, and Adachi says that her real name is Celestia Lutenboard. But that, like everything else she's built so far, is a lie. Hifumi was trying to tell Celeste's real last name, Yasuhiro. And as you said, Celeste might have that as last name, even though it's obvious it's hers at this point, but whatever. And Celeste hasn't told anyone her real name yet, but she insists her real name is Celestia Lutenboard. However long she's pretending this is her truth doesn't matter, because her e-handbook is going to expose her false lie she said. In the playthrough, but yeah, still the false one you were told. Anytime an e-handbook gets thrown on, it shows the owner's name. MONOKUMA said that way before. Makoto says all that has to be done is to check the handbook, because we open it up and oh hey, there's her real name. She however says it's an invasion of privacy and that she refuses to cooperate. Makoto just asks her to tell us what happened, however she does not give up. But at this point it's pointless. Even if she says we may not know what happened, in poker terms, at this point she should just fold right now. In the closing argument, we'll make her do just that. Before all of this began, the killer persuaded Hifumi to help carry out the murder. With him as an accomplice, the killer was able to pull off another of borderline impossible schemes. First, they convinced Yasuhiro to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 AM. The duo intended to pass Yasuhiro off as the prime suspect, so when they met with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it seem like Robo Justice was attacking him while Celeste used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They both went for this elaborate song and dance to put suspicion on Yasuhiro. After they were finished, they subbed him into the pool locker unconscious. Then, much later at 6 AM, the motor phase of the plan started to get moved into motion. They called Kiyotaka into the equipment room, and that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the false scene of the mortal. The mortal weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left in the equipment room. The reason Hammer 4 was used to create confusion about the order of everything. Next, they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. False, the fake attack in the rec room. Deo, the two wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they had taken. They wanted to make sure everyone bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and injured Hifumi to sell that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a preconception in their minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in the order as they did. Everyone fell right into that trap and started looking for the suspect. But while everyone was looking away, Hifumi was left alone in the nurse's office, exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator, Justice Hammer 3, and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw everyone back, and when they all returned, that's what they found. Meanwhile, back in the equipment room, the other group found Kiyotaka's body at the exact same time. When the body discovery announcement went off, the group that found Hifumi assumed it was for Hifumi. They all left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. All he did this time was get up and make his escape. When they learned his body had disappeared, they all ran back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room, wrapped Kiyotaka's body in a tarp, and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository, explaining how both bodies disappeared. But what Hifumi didn't know was what Celeste had planned for the final act. Her plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And she did it using a regular hammer from the repository. And that is how, from start to finish, Celeste managed to get 2 people killed with her plan. And I have to say, it was a good plan. At least compared to the last 2, unplanned and someone planned by someone uninvolved with the mortal. It was definitely fun trying to piece together the puzzle. Agreed, she lost, simple as ever. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your luck had to run out eventually.
I mean,
That's
that wasn't
the
even really gambling. That was literally just murdering someone. Of course, you lost.
Yeah. Either ways, I'm buying my stocks in Celeste killing somebody. Yippee!
Oh my god, shut up. You know what? Never mind. Just take it. Just have your way.
You're the killer? Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
What?
That's her real name.
Wow.
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
She was faking her accent too.
She still sounds like the fucking Things from Manhattan Time.
I hate her
Right.
execution. I'm not even gonna lie. It's kinda.
I don't know if I should feel bad, to be completely honest.
We did it,
She
everybody.
accepted it herself, so I don't really care. How did you get an A?
You.
Not gonna lie, her execution made me
Chihiro.
cry. You guys
I'm
ready to
ready.
see a disappointing
I'm
ass
ready.
execution?
It's basically from memory
Eventually,
at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened at the time into true clue who devised the whole sinking scheme was Celeste Ludenberg, most likely Takeo Yasuhiro. I lost, well that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. If we were reason him to do was beyond my calculations. So you really did approach Hifumi with this man. But how did you get him to agree? I can imagine he would have happily agreed to commit to murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying. My specialty, don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree. Then did he use, I knew you figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right to get Hifumi to act as my accomplice. I used a hole. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but there was one thing Hifumi... Oh, alter ego? Then you're the one that stole it. That's right. And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again, last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here? I have something I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it. But it was Taka. He stole it. What? And I have proof. You'd like to see it.
As it turned out, I found his photo digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room and took pictures of Hiro. I deleted the pictures as soon as I showed them to Hifumi, of course. So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if Hino's got closer. Bureaucrat to attack to force me to steal it. What? Please forgive me, he threatened me. He did? He came in my room last night and announced, and then, it's hard for me to even say, he abused me. Holy shit. Wow, I'm...
You know, I'd like to say that there's so many parts of Danganronpa that are like this, that at this point, I don't even count this shit as canon. Because they'll randomly pull up the fucking abuse, like, card with every single fucking character that's a girl.
Right.
Just letting you know that. They'll fucking demonize it so much, it's sad.
Well, and he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone, so I had no choice. That's a crime, an absolute crime. Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad that he actually knows that it was a crime.
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say anything I never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him. Wait, please, if you can, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh. Taka's planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target. Escape, you don't mean. Taka's going to try to kill you. What? And also you can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard, bastard, bastard. I'm getting deja vu!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? Jesus Christ. Would you like to join me? Just happens I've come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen to escape to straight for school. My dad, it is complete. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, nothing. I've even agreed it at a second thought. The effect that the item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even as twisted as that, can sure make people mad, it would seem. You disgust me. I have another question for you.
Me too.
Was that strange costume HIFUMI'S creation? Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it was my fault for picking him in the first place. So why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it. And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been so tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live? That's simple. After he did his plan pretending to be better when someone showed up, I told him he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed it? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, that plan was, while you were all questioning him about what happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt it. I told him, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the love of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate up. He believed I wholeheartedly, right until the moment of his death. He had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who had pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How can human life mean so little to you? That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win. Now you sound like Byakuya. No, he deserves a splinter from the filth done in that aspect. We are nothing alike. Then what made you take things this far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million MONOKUMA invest? It is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment I knew life began, my only thought has been escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here. Obviously that was a lie. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you wanna know why, huh? Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here... I'm getting more deja vu! And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever. And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing. And it was all for that dream. And what was the dream it goes? To live in a European castle. And to gather some handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers slash bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would create a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence. Living the rest of my life, there was only my dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my winnings, MONOKUMA's $10 million, that would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but unfortunately, my dreams have been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream until the very end. So why would I? You sound so passionate, but you're really able to kill your own friends for it. Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing. You are a fucking sociopath! Holy shit! That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete.
I don't like you.
Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
That's what we should be saying. Plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why are you scared? My ability to lie is rather not take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even feel my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. That's why you're not scared? That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I have a choice then, I think I would like to come back as a marionette. You just get executed again. Sussman again. Moderato, it looked to me like a poor effect to falsehood. She claims she could feel her own emotions, but that statement itself must have been a fine lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her. You've all done. Okay, then let's get rolling. The blackened to solve the pierce must pay the price.
I prepared a very special punishment.
Oh, the ultimate game. That's
Everything we've got. It's punishment time.
August. Get the popcorn.
Guess I'll let Kyoko hold on.
What the hell's...
What?
This is.
Let me.
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone.
Perhaps we meet again. Another life.
Don't you dare.
If-
I don't know if you're trying
If
to
I
make me
ever
feel
see
sick.
her again, I will fucking cry. I will sob so aggressively.
You can't tell me that she didn't have an interesting character, though.
She did.
She did, but I can't tell if it's a good one or bad.
I don't know. This is gonna be fascinating.
No, it's not. It's really not.
I know what this is gonna be. I
What
know
is
what
it?
this is gonna be.
What is it? No, well then, that just gave it away.
I knew from the get-go. Fucking Joan going out like Joan of Arc did. I was dead wrong. Holy shit.
I hate this fucking one so much.
You probably already said why, but I forgot.
No, I didn't say why. You're gonna see in a little. You will. And you're gonna hate it just as much as I do.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, you might laugh at it.
Oh.
What
the hell?
What the fuck?
This is my.
What? What the heck?
They just fucking run her off.
Oh my god.
Just out of nowhere, she gets fucking ran over. Like, why?
What the heck? Wow,
That's
okay,
not
that was
what a firefighter is supposed to do. God.
Fucking hell!
Not
Oh, well.
good riddance, bro.
That's why you have to heal her execution? Yeah. What is wrong with you? Your job, not mine. I'm leaving. But there's still more stuff. I don't care, I'm leaving. Oh, if only you knew. If only.
She's my favorite V1 character. I don't like Kyoko as much as I like her.
I knew she was gonna kill somebody. I have been saying this for the longest goddamn time.
Alright, Daniel, it's over. You can, yeah.
It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's step is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't video it. I also can't deny anyone, but I consider her my friend too. And for her to just come along and isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of the regrets from the outside board, and more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives. Jeez, and here you fight, you guys are gonna patch a top approach in this generation. What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here. You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like or not, and it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes, but it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get consent of key type arguments, so what's the deal with that? What's the matter? I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me? What? Oh, answer me, what? What did you do to my body? What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I get out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go on and join your school. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course. See ya.
What the heck is happening? What? Zombie? Ghost?
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that keys that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's a key to one of the dressing room lockers. And that means... Alter Ego still... I guess I win the gamble now. That was awful. That was bad. So that's probably hidden. No. I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's beneath your nose. Well, then we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back on us and said, "I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. Check with you later." Why exactly are you going on? Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera. That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too. You, please let me go. We're standing here, all gonna just gonna drum more than just do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya. And it's up to you now. I'm gonna go to the dining hall. Yes, I'm gonna go to the Does that mean I just think it means good luck and could go as I go toward a pushover when you show a little backman? I tried to forget what Hina said. I haven't headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone. Shall. We need to get into that locker, Kyoko. Celeste is giving her an unlocked locker. When it's locker swung open. Well, not morning, but night, but yeah, good morning, I guess. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It sounds like he's singing from the bottom of a I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best. The case is straight up right longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure. But, can we take a second, since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me? Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know, and that just makes me even more worried. Like what happened during the investigation time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that. It's only natural to think I'm the mastermind spy, right? You two? No, I believe you. You believe in me. Isn't it obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand. And maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then, fine, I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from the Kyoko then was frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come in. When it did, I went into action. Well, I am not doing that right now.
The trial episodes are the worst episodes.
They are. Okay, let's hope nobody dead is there. God damn it.
Oh.
No, Chihiro, I wasn't daydreaming about tormenting Diego.
Wake up.
Hello? Ah!
Wake up.
What are you doing here? I saw you get executed. Go away! What did I do to deserve this?
Wake up.
Why are you telling me to wake up still? I'm already awake.
Wake up.
Oh my
Wake
god,
up.
just shut
Wake
up.
up.
We get it.
Wake
You
up.
think you're so
Wake up.
important.
Wake up.
Ooh, look at
Wake up.
me. I'm
Wake
not
up.
wearing normal
Wake up.
colors like blue
Wake
and
up.
yellow and
Wake up.
purple and cyan.
Wake up.
I'm
Wake
wearing
up.
black and white
Wake
and a
up.
little bit of
Wake
red.
up.
That means...